Now, today was the last day for the introduction of bills in the Nebraska legislature. Some of the last bills are about youth transgenders here in Nebraska.
Channel 8's Veronica Barreto joins us live with more on those supporting and those against these bills. Veronica?
A state senator is introducing a pair of bills regarding medical procedures for transgender youth in Nebraska and their participation in sports. Those opposing the bills are calling the move an attack on LGBTQ+ youth. State Senator Kathleen Kauth of Omaha introduced the Let Them Grow Act. The bill would ban any gender alteration procedures to youth under 19 years old. She was not available for an interview, but fellow Senator Julie Slama was. She's one of several senators supporting the bill.
The decision to undergo very major surgeries that are life-changing and permanent need to be done when the person is of the age that they can consent to anything else in the state.
Senator John Frederickson from Omaha is opposing the bill and says he was disappointed.
50% of LGBTQ youth in Nebraska considered suicide this past year. 58% of transgender and non-binary youth considered suicide in the state of Nebraska last year. LGBTQ youth belong here, and they need to know that they are loved, that they are valuable, that they are worthy.
The second bill regarding transgender youth in Nebraska was the Sports in Spaces proposal, also introduced by Senator Kauth. It would limit the participation of transgender youth athletes to school sports teams intended for their sex that was assigned at birth.
Senator Kauth's bill protects that for every other girl to ensure that we don't have girls competing against biological men. It evens out the playing field, makes it fair for everyone, and really locks in those gender protections.
Currently, the Nebraska Schools Activities Association has a process in which transgender students can play sports consistent with their gender identity, with certain guidelines like having gone through hormone treatments for at least a year. Senator Frederickson says Nebraskans are concerned about education, property taxes, and inflation. He says legislators should not be focusing on these types of bills.
This is part of a national effort. We've been seeing this nationwide. There are sort of concerted attacks on the LGBTQ community. It's unfortunate. It's something that we will continue to speak up against.
Again, today was the last day for bills to be introduced for this session. Up next, committee hearings starting next week that will decide which bills move to the legislative floor for debate. For more on today's transgender story, you can visit KLKNTV.com.
Veronica, thank you very much for that story tonight.